Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan here, and today I want to talk to you about some stuff I've been reading, some stuff to maybe help you out if you're interested in making more money and maybe seeing a little different view of the world so that you can be a more productive human being or just get more done out of your life, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Um, some quotes. I'm reading this book. It's called The Everything Store. It's a story about Jeff Bezos and the Amazon.com. And some quotes that I really like that I want to share with you is one, we don't make money when we sell things. We make money when we help customers make purchasing decisions. I think this is huge. If you sell anything to anybody, the last thing you want to do is sell something to somebody they don't want. Sell something that someone doesn't want, right? Someone that's not qualified, right? Often, a lot of us don't want to exercise. A lot of us don't want to feel our muscles work. A lot of us don't want to um, find a wife to marry, or find a girlfriend. A lot of the time, really, what we want is we want someone to have sex with, really, right? Someone that has companionship, someone to take care of us, someone that we can build a life with. We don't want a wife. We want that person, or at least as a male, right? Um, and weight loss, working your muscles, you don't really want to work your muscles. You want nicer muscles. You want stronger muscles. That's what you want. You want to help people do the things that allow them to get the things that they want. And telling them that they need to do this when really what you should be saying is that don't you want to have this? Don't you want to have this kind of life? So it's just kind of a way of explaining what people really want. Other thing here that I really liked too was this is really businessy. This is a quote. I think you might be underestimating the degree to which established brick and mortar businesses or any company that might be used to doing things a certain way will find it hard to be nimble, to focus attention on a new channel. I guess we'll see. And what that quote says is kind of a mouthful, but it says that it's easy to. I think he really meant overestimating. That some people overestimate kind of like what a large company can really do. I mean, they're a lot of money, they got a lot of power, and they can make a lot of money. But the problem is they're so big, so they can't really make fast decisions that really affect scale. When a company is making, let's say, $10 million a year, $10 million a month, you really, I mean, to improve production in one area of your life is sometimes hard to tell if it's even worth it because it doesn't scale. But when you're small, going from $10 an hour to $20 an hour is a humongous life change, right? Or getting a mortgage that's $1,000 a month and going down to 500, or going from $1,000 a month mortgage to $2,000 a month. That's a huge change. And the point is, being as a single person, comparing you to like a large business, if you're a small business, you can make fast changes. You can test things out. This other quote that I really like too is, in every conversation, there are at least four people. So if we have a two-person conversation, I heard this on the Tim Ferriss podcast with Ray Dalio, and he talked about essentially, if I'm talking to you, I'm having a conversation in my head with myself, and you're having a conversation with you and yourself. In other words, there's two yous, right? There's the intellectual, curious, rational you, and then there's the emotional you, and they're always fighting with one another. And if someone leaves a comment below, I will tell a little story about washing the dishes. That's kind of funny with me and my wife, about a story about basically that conversation that was going on in my head. But like we always deal with that, because a lot of the time we have this conversation in our head, that we have the intellectual, rational, and then we have the emotional, right? And we have to be able to sort of trust. It's basically learning how to negotiate with yourself, because often, like, I mean, if there's cake and ice cream or yummy foods, I mean, the emotional self just wants to grab, right? And then you got the intellectual has to talk your emotional self out of the way. I actually like to talk about this more because I like this. This is high level self awareness. This allows you to basically accomplish your entire life. Because a lot of the time, the work that you want to accomplish, the life that the girl that you want to date, the husband that you want to have, the business you want to build, you have to do a bunch of uncomfortable stuff emotionally you don't want to do because it's uncomfortable, it's painful, and you might fail. And the intellectual self says you have to do these things because you're not going to be able to accomplish your goal, right? Or there's a better way. Maybe your intellectual self needs to solve the problem. One little quick one that I'll talk to you about is I have this issue with going to live events, and I don't like it because I don't like being around a bunch of people I don't know. I'm just I'm not really a social person. I feel a little awkward. And there's this event called Traffic and Conversion coming up in February, and I'm planning on going, and my emotional self doesn't want to go, but we need to go if I want to grow my business to the next level, or if I want to, move in that direction. And where else is there? This other quote by Ray Dalio: the key to success is finding an edge in a market and staying the right distance away from the edge. I really like that. I like that as an exercise analogy, and I can talk about this more because I really like this particular analogy. Because in training, when we get really into training, we want to push ourselves and we want to do more sets. Like, how they say deadlift once a week, or squat once or twice a week, or work arms only once a week. When you get into it, you can't do it once a week. You want to do it every day, and you can't stop. And they say deadlift heavy every 2 weeks. Like when I got to a point where I could only deadlift heavy every 2 weeks, I was stubborn, and guess what happened? I got hurt. Because my biggest edge was I was getting strong. So I was on the up ramp, because I had all these, I was kind of a novice, and, I got to 400 pounds, and I just keep wanting to push, Anyways, that's kind of like what that means. Like, find your edge and then measure yourself to stay distance away from it. Because let me close this analogy. So you find this edge and you're trying to get close, but you touch the edge, you get hurt, or you lose money, like in the business, or you overbet. And it's learning how to stay, like, the problem is that sometimes we want to stay so close, right? It's kind of like, making just enough money to pay your bills, right? When you really should be making more money to pay your bills. But the problem is, we live so close. It's hard. It's human nature. Very difficult to stay below our means. We're, too much sales power or even attention power. Like, you're watching this video, I got your attention. At least maybe 10 of you or 5 of you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you got a request on something you want me to elaborate on in this video, I would love to talk about it because I like two-way discussions. I'll talk to you later. See ya.